Welcome to our final opportunity execution project demonstration. We are going to do a quick overview of our project so you can consider if our idea is worth a deal. First, let us introduce the idea behind Boizu with this sample promo video. As you may be thinking at this point, how we will be making some type of revenue with this business? Boizu is just about ads, so all our business model orbit around our distribution channels and partnerships. After a wide study, we have identified our main target, the marketing agencies. So Boizu is basically founded based on a collaboration with marketing guys from this industry. Through the sales experiments we did lately, we could figure out most of the requirements that agencies are looking for in order to invest their customers' money into what is classically called the slot. So we have designed a full-fledged customer control panel to fit their needs and help them to obtain the results they may be expecting to achieve. We have two main tricks to accomplish a powerful segmentation process. Segmentation through automatic speech recognition in call and powerful survey system inside where users are rewarded by completing their profiles with best detail. Here is a question. What do you think is the value of just one telephone? The answer is simple. If you cannot communicate, the telephone is useless, so the service is invaluable. This is the sticking point of most of the companies that need both endpoints having to be using the same service. WhatsApp and Skype have been two successful examples, but others like Viber, Line, and even Facebook Messenger are still struggling to get some attention from public. We don't have this issue. Why? Because the endpoint is already a user, is a subscriber of telephony service in his country. That's all. We have 50% of the customers already signed up. What about the other 50%? After some experimentation, through this course, we have understood that this is a matter of spread the word system. If we offer a high quality service, we will be getting users on a regular basis just by the recommendation of each other. Dropbox guys showed us a lesson, and we are now following their advice. In this point, we are reducing our acquisition cost under $8 compared to the $15 of when we started our first social network campaigns. What about the real customers? As we mentioned before, our sales strategy is all about marketing alliance, but we are still doing a lot of work in trying to design a key to open the door of our main customers, the marketing agencies. Most of them that we have contact ask us for something, real data. This information about our users' age, gender, work situation, and information about their behavior answering this question. Are they actually finding interest in our advertisement program? Basically, we figure out two strategies that will be working flawlessly. First, we are now running a big experiment. We have contact with 2 major NGOs and they have sent us their creativities. We are offering the option to be donors of this NGO if they find interest in their proposal. With this data, we will be able to craft our fully featured white paper with plenty of information of what we have been asked for. This has been also our first investment. But if this is not enough, we are going to offer a free-to-enroll test demo program so companies will be able to check our service with real data about them. With all this in process, we will design an auto-feedback system that may open us new doors, like access to companies directly, eliminating agencies' intermediation, and marketing researchers that could be looking for our real-time data, like survey data we mentioned before. Could this be profitable? We are testing it. Maybe this could be one of the most difficult tasks of all this. Here are insights at this moment. In the revenue model, we find 4 main sources. The advertisement slots, as we mentioned before, are the main source. They might cover at least the variable cost. So for example, if the call costs 10 cents, we might be asking for at least 15 per slot. Lead generation services. Eventually, this will be our workhorse. If we perform good, we'll be earning money. If not, we won't. Since one of the key aspects of our service is surveillance system, all this information will be packaged and sold. We expect to cover at least all the sales and marketing costs with this revenue stream. Finally, we have the residual source, the premium users. To some extent, this will be an upgrade for the user that will help us build a robust platform to cover the fixed cost. Now, in the cost, we find firstly the variable. If we imagine this as a manufacturer company where all raw materials are the call minutes, the labor are the sales and marketing force, and our final product are the advertisement slots, eventually one of the biggest challenges is covering the cost of the minutes. So after a wide research, we have found that approximately we need to charge our clients 1.5 of the call duration just to stay under the hood of the variable costing between the slots and the lead generation streams. This is crucial because if we cannot cover the variables, we won't be able to be sustainable long term. We are developing in this moment in the restriction adjustment of the call destination. At this time, we are able to offer calls approximately 80 countries, where calling costs are between the limits we found the companies we will be able to afford. We expect that our users will find this destination enough attractive to keep using our service. This part of the testing is still in progress. Apart from this, we find that our fixed costs are really low, so when we are able to auto-feed the variable roulette, we will be able to get a sustainable business model to keep up the growth in the future. If we haven't understood how we can make our business flow, we can see now how our business will keep going. First, the companies fuel with their investment. They promote their calls. After that, we are able to go and buy some raw materials, the call minutes. We transform them into a wonderful service that users will be wanting to get in, so they will register and use it. We find that what I call the triple win-win. Ad companies get customers, user call for free, and we get the spread. While we continue fueling with value inside the wheel, it will go forward. But what happens if we run out of fuel? This is one of the worst risks since we only have 2 options. First option, suspend the service until we find new funding, making users unhappy. Second option, use some provisions to keep moving forward despite this fall. This will be another hidden cost. In the beginning, we are going to minimize the risk by implementing a credit system. This way, if we don't have sponsors, people won't be able to earn more credits. In some way, this is the first option, but we need to have the risk bounded to the max at the start. Maybe in the future, when we have more insight about our earnings, we can migrate to the second option. Another issue could be the dependency to one concrete agency. The solution is seeking continuously for some type of diversification between 3 or to 7 agencies at the same time. We won't be offering exclusivity, since this option be an excessive risk to our business. We are planning to launch following this roadmap. First, as we mentioned in the beginning, we are running our first demo prototype with the idea of being able to craft the first white paper. Thanks to the family and friends and our own bootstrapping investment, we will be able to start with around $2,000 from now to September. Simultaneously, our project has been accepted in one of the most famous startup contests in Spain called Youth, promoted by the Banco Santander, and we are aiming for the prize of $30,000. This contest will be ending in November. From this point, we will be able to start the business itself. Finally, we'll try to get in the Startup Incubator Top Seeds Lab from the Beta Gamma Sigma Association in order to get the network to find some business angel or venture capital interested in our project. The idea is basically looking for the expansion when we achieve this milestone. Now I want to show a quick overview of our prototype. Welcome to Boizu. This is our site. First, we can log in with our Google account. After that, you have to fill your information. We have a guided tour system to help users understand the process of calling. Basically, the idea is simple. You select an advertiser for the list. After you see their promotion and the video optionally, you have to click
Hola, soy Neil.
You have to click in the background to open the form. Here you can fill the form or just wait to close the ad. Finally, you are rewarded with 1 credit that you may use to call someone. Here is an example call. If you try to call with no credits, system avoids it.
Sorry, you don't have enough credit.
We hide all the complex machinery to make this possible behind this basic interface for you. That's all. Everything could be possible thanks to my awesome team. Miguel and me were university colleagues, and after more than 5 years, we met back and casually decided to start this project. I love this idea since I've been inside the telephone industry for a lot of time, and we felt we have the resources and capabilities to make this happen. When we started this course, we met a lot of people that helped us with the opportunity assessment project in the first part, but during this course, the second, Josep and Marcelo joined to help us going forward and introducing more ideas to the basket. We are actually 100% dedicated to this project, so we have a big faith that this may work someday. Finally, I want to make a special mention to Rodrigo Alegría, our mentor. Thanks for watching. Please, write to our emails if you like this. Willing to hear from you soon.